youth and their week that they had.
Love is a strong and mighty fortress. Raise your voice now. No love is greater. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Even when I stumble, even when I fall, even when I turn back, still your love is sure. You will not abandon, forsake. You will cheer me on with never-ending grace. Sing with joy now, our God is for us. The Father's love is a strong and mighty fortress. Raise your voice now, no love is greater. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Separate us, hell and death will not defeat us. He who gave his Son to free us holds me in his love. Neither height nor depth can separate us. Hell and death will not defeat us. He who gave his Son to free us holds me in his love. Sing with joy now, our God is for us. The Father's love is a strong and mighty fortress. Raise your voice now, no love is greater. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Sing with joy now, our God is for us. The Father's love is a strong and mighty fortress. Raise your voice now, no love is greater. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Love is a strong and mighty fortress. Raise your voice now, no love is greater. Who can stand against us if our God is for us? Even when I stumble, even when I fall, even when I turn back, still your love is sure. You will not abandon, you will
Okay. So, if y'all don't know, okay, should I wait or I'll just wait?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
If y'all don't know, it was my first time at camp, and I really didn't know what to expect because, I never been. I just thought, I'm going to have a fun time or whatever, but I didn't know what to expect. But it turns out that, oh my goodness, it's just amazing. And the best part, maybe not the best part, but just, if you don't know, you can't have your phone like at all. And it is so refreshing just to get away from your phone and just really, social media and everything like that. It's just amazing. And I learned there that, you don't need to give your time to the world because it's just going to bring you down, and it's not, you can't get anything from it because the world's always changing, but God's always, the same, always. And you should give your time to God and just spend more time because you will be way more happier if you do that. And on one thing, and Lexi wanted me to say for her as well, what they did is they painted black paint on our hands, and it represented like sin. And it was like this big white board kind of thing, and it had a cross on it. And we would go up, and they would paint the black paint on your hands, and you would go up there, and you would put your hand on it, and it would the paint was still left over. So then we walked to like a little place with our group, and we talked a little bit, and I forgot the verse, but then she got a rag and wiped the sin. It was just kind of, representing that sin is gone when we put our handprint on there, and then wiping away our sins, the rest of the black paint. And that just really stood out to me, and that was really good. But the worship, oh my goodness, it was just amazing. And Jason Curry, the speaker, he is outstanding. He's just really good. But I had the best time, and I would definitely want to go again. But it was just really good and very refreshing just to get away from everything. But yeah, it was just really good.
Well, I highlighted a lot of stuff, but I don't think I'm going to read it all because that's a lot of stuff. But the thing that stood out to me was I have anxiety. So one time the preacher, what was it, Jason Curry? I think it was Jason Curry. Yeah. Well, he had said something like, he was talking about many things, but then he said fear. And I was kind of like, man, I'm ready to go to bed. Just, come on, I'm ready to go to bed. So then he said fear, and I'm just like, talking to me? Well, then he was like, God takes your fear and puts it on himself, and he will help you through anything. So, some things I wrote down that he said to write down. Throw off everything that hinders. It ain't gonna be easy. I know it's gonna be a struggle, but I'm willing to do difficult things for the payoff purpose. When you get ready to quit, let your purpose drive perseverance. I can't, but he can. You have to focus on the power of God. Finish empty. Who are you called to be? Be done with it. God refreshes you. Don't be scared to pray a prayer. And that was just some of the stuff that I highlighted. But, I don't know, I feel like I needed a reminder, and this camp was that reminder, because I kind of, forgot that he was, I guess, there. I had forgot that he would help me through stuff, and I was kind of just trying to take it by myself. And I don't know. Anxiety's never going to go away, of course, but it makes me feel more secure. That was one of the words that stood out, was secure. It makes me feel more secure to know that God is going to be there, and he's going to carry my burden with me. And that was just what the preacher said, but, the camp in total was outstanding. So, Y'all can send us again, right? Well, I guess that was it.
Alright, I didn't come prepared like the rest of them. They basically said everything, but LFR is just a great environment to be in. This is my 4th year actually going to the camp, my 5th year actually being with the camp. It's been a great environment every year, and it's just a good place to be, even if it's just a week out of a year. My favorite part was probably, like Ava said, the when they painted your hands and you stuck it. It wasn't on the cross, but it was right next to it. But I have a funny story about that. Our counselor told us that a dude in our cabin, his name's Craig. He when he went to go wipe the paint off his hands, Craig said, "You left some sin." If he didn't get all of it off. But LFR is just a great environment to be around, and I hope y'all have enough. I hope y'all all get to go again. This will probably be my last year of Vista College.
Might get to go one more time.
Hello? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Well, stop laughing at me. Well, I had a good time. I mean, it's a fun experience to be there. They do stuff that you don't usually do every other day. I mean, you go to church twice a day, every day, and then you eat 3 meals a day, which was different too. But with the stuff he was preaching about, he would get normal verses and normal things, and he would just relate them to real life problems, and he would make them relate to you instead of just, taking something directly from the Bible and putting it on you. He would relate it to your life somehow. And, that stood out to me. And, there's just so many activities there that you never got bored, and you pretty much hardly got any sleep, so that was a bit rough. And the beds weren't comfortable, so that was rough too. But, overall it was fun. I had a good memory there, and I hope we get to go again, because, it grows your relationship with God every time you go. So, yeah.
Say anything. It's up to you, man.
Well, the camp was fun and all the things there were fun, but at LFR After Dark, we had to walk through a tent, and in the tent you had to pick a word that was on the ground, and you had to restate that to your counselor and what it meant to you. And the word I saw was refuge, and it reminded me that no matter what goes on in our life, we can always go back to God as our refuge.
Danny?
Hi, this is my first year going to LFR. It's a really good experience. My favorite part was same as almost everybody else. The preaching, it's really real. It's probably the best preaching that I've heard. No offense, Brother Coy. No offense. But it's really good preaching, as I've heard a lot about him. I definitely hope that we could go again next year and that we would have enough time, and with everything going on, I just hope that we can go again next year. And with the cross and stuff, we put black paint on our hands, stepped on the cross, and my whole cabin tried to wash it off in a puddle. So as soon as we got back to the cabin, a counselor brought us into the bathroom one by one, recited a Bible verse, and said, see how you try to wash the black paint off your hand, you can never truly get it all off without the hope of God with you, and you can't really get cleansed without him. So it's a really good learning experience there. All the counselors that I've met are very nice, and I just hope that we can go again next time.
They referred to the cross and the sin on their hands, and they referred to the tent, but it was trying to bring home the fact that The tent was the cleft of a rock, that you have God's comfort in the cleft of a rock. And the cross was, you can take your burden to the cross and leave it there. And then there was one they didn't speak about that made me cry, and it was a pile of stones, and it was about the smitten rock. And they had a stick, and they beat the rock and beat the rock. And that, to me, it was so, I cried because it was like the rock represented God or Jesus, and they just, it was hard to see someone just beating. It was very symbolic of Jesus on the cross as well. But the big theme that they were trying to get across to them this week, the theme was write it on a rock. But the thing they were getting across was to have impactful faith. And some of the things that stood out to me was, one of the things he told them was, you can't win with losing people. And no matter how hard you try, when you're in your own element and you're only thinking of self, you can't win. Your team can't win. And if your team is not winning, then you need to look at what's going on with your team, so that you can turn it around for God's glory. Another thing he said was, who you say you are should be who you are. And a lot of times, and he talked about what people see on the surface and what is truly in your heart. And then a verse, a chapter that he read from was Luke 14. And I was going to read 2 of the verses from it. It was talking about a great feast, and the ruler invited people, and people made excuses. They all had things to go home to, and they made excuses. And so then in the end, he told his servant, and the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. And it made me think of us, because we do not have a full house. We once used to, and I hope we get back to that, through the youth, through us too, through the kids. And God wants us to go to the highways and the hedges and bring them in. And we need to find our purpose again, so we can bring them in. Because we are all looking for that love, and they pointed that out. You know, the greatest thing is love. Everybody's searching for love, but we're searching in the wrong places, and we need to bring people in.
You can sit down if you want to, or whatever.
I didn't hear Jacob get up there.
Jacob said speak through him. I mean, me to speak through him.
Well, again, Joanne, thank you for going up there. It's not what you expected, was it?
No, I did not want to go. I spoke with Martha. I spoke with Steve. I did not want to go. I was just like in Luke 14.
You said,
And one of the dudes in Luke 14, he wanted to go home and care for his oxen.
Yeah.
So that was my biggest excuse. I had animals. And
Yeah. But the story was, Joanne said, I can go. Well, sometimes you let that mouth get you in trouble. But I knew that if she ever got there, it'd be worth it, because I did the same thing. When Paul came and he said go there, and I said it's too expensive, it's a waste of time, on and on. And I was able to go that year. And once I went that one time, I'll never be changed against it. It's just a great place to be. I thank the church for allowing the kids to go. They came here last year, and we really got to know a lot of the kids. So when I went back up there this year, I was like a rock star. Kay was a bigger rock star than me, but anyway. So I knew so many people, and so I was able, and they took special attention not that they didn't take special attention for all their kids, but they took special interest in our kids. So I was able to go back and say, well, how's these kids? And we should be thankful because they had nothing but good things to say about our kids. And, you know, when you take kids off like that, you're always worried that something's going to happen or something's going to go wrong or something. But every one of them said that our kids were wonderful, great kids. But you know what they said they thought they needed more than anything? Mentors. They said they need mentors. It's not that we're not mentors. It's that we don't reach out to be the mentors. And said every one of them just about said that they would like to have people to talk to. They don't know that I talk to these people. But they said that they wanted other people that they could speak to. And I'll tell on Lexi because she said, I'm getting out of my class. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I said, you've got a class. Crystal's there and Brandy's there. So I'm challenging y'all to reach out to Lexi so she knows that there's somewhere else to go. Because we've talked about it for years. Pam, you know as well as I, afters. And there's never been anybody that's able to set up an afters program. And it's for the simple fact I was supposed to one time. You know why I didn't? Because I didn't feel like I had the time. And you just push it aside. Oh, they'll be okay. They're not okay. You know, we just have to wish they come once they turn 25, 26, 27. But we lose them from 18 to 22, 23 because we really don't have anything for them. Because nobody has stepped up and did it and put the interest and effort in it. And I think we have it now. But these kids, y'all, it's amazing how blessed we are. Y'all can't imagine. Because they've got kids that's coming in there next week or right now that's called the, what do they call it? Camp Macon. And the counselors told, and I talked to one, Matthew, and he said, we break up a fight every day. Every day. He said, we bring these kids in, he said, and they literally wear their colors. So we break them up every day. We have no problem. So we're fortunate. Now, do they have issues with each other sometimes? Absolutely. But the good thing is there, when they come in here, they know we're going to take care of them. And we have to continue to do that because it's not a hard job, but it's a time-consuming job. And so that's what we need to do. And if you'll notice, spending a little time with them, I played volleyball, and that's why I'm crippled today. Never play volleyball with them. I'm telling you, it's just not worth it. But I'm too old. I'm too old. So, but again, y'all, I don't know what to say. Jason said this, and I think this is one thing. You heard what they said about the preaching. Well, one of them, I forget who said it, but one of the people there said that there was a complaint about the preaching. Said that Jason preached too much down and should be preaching up. Well, me and Coy talked about that this morning. That's what's wrong with our churches. Everything's preaching up when you need to be preaching down because it's not a feel-good thing. As excited as I was when they stood up here and talked and happy as I got, I could cry just thinking about where they're at and what needs to be done with them. It's heartbreaking to know that people struggle. These kids are struggling. I'm struggling. And as good as God is, it doesn't mean that it's going to be great all the time. We're going to be challenged. We're going to be heartbroken. And so what I'm saying is open yourself up so that we can help each other. Because you want our church to grow, we solidify right now. Then we can move forward. But I believe that these people in this church right here, especially these kids, we could take a lot of lessons from these kids. You know, they want to learn. We sometimes just want to go through the motions. We need to learn because you never learn it all. Man told me one time he had it figured out, I ran. Because if you can figure out Jesus Christ and you're walking with faith, you are some kind of good man. I thoroughly believe that I'll figure it out when I stand before Christ. That's when I figure it out. Because I'm fighting and struggling every day. And that's why I like these kids. I'm not intimidated by these kids because they ask questions and it's easier for me to answer because I'm going through the same thing. And I try to instill on them that it's not going to get easier, but it's going to get more rewarding. Because when you think that you're struggling with these things, just knowing that somebody else is struggling and that you can move forward from it. So I thank y'all for letting me be a little part of them. Probably could whip them sometimes, but Brett's too big for me to whip now. So, but anyway, thank you again for allowing them to go. And again, I'm sure, oh, one other thing. Joanne said that we needed to give them a Gaga hit. Well, I told her, I said, for 9 years we've been supposed to get them one. We said it every year we're going to get one, but that it's funny how that always comes up.
I think they have a site for them where you can order them. They come in my
We got another 10 years. We'll worry about that in another 9. Yeah, you're not going to be here. You're not going to play Gaga ball next year, so we'll worry about Gaga later.
One of the other things that Central Creek said was, you think of like an orange grove or any fruit grove growing, when you get the out of hunt, you see tons of fruit hanging on the trees. He said we have that harvest out there. We just gotta find some way to pick it and bring it in.
Well, I think a lot of times we run from the harvest instead of embracing it. So I'm not real good at inviting people to church and doing things. I'm kind of comfortable with my little deal. You go down there Sunday morning, you hang out with the kids, you come to church, you listen, you go. So I'm guilty, you know. I'm guilty, but God's in control. He's going to take care of it, but He does need workers, and that's us. So we can either step up and be the workers and continue to press forward, which I believe we'll do. But again, the counselors, all of them said that these kids need mentors. So that's our challenge. So what you got? You find another key? I mean, another zip down? Okay, we found the video. I'm going to close this in prayer real quick, and then we'll watch the video because I'm a little overwhelmed right now. So, Father God, I just thank you so much for the things that you do for me, God, when I'm so unworthy. You know, I do pray for these young people, God. You know their struggles. We might think we know, but we don't know what they struggle with. And I pray, God, that you'll give them comfort in the Word and help us to be the mentors that you've laid out and expect us to be. Help us to be the leadership and the people that they can look up to, and, you know, instead of us looking up to them. I pray for our church as we continue to move forward, God. I pray that you'll just make us aware of what you want us to do. I thank you for each and every one here, God. I pray that you'll continue to bless them. I thank you for Coy and Miss Kenya and George and everyone, and Miss Pam, everyone that works here, God. It just takes all of us to do it. Most of all, I thank you for these young people, God. They're an inspiration to me, and I pray that you'll continue to just let me be a small part of their growth and their lives. I pray now you forgive me where I fail you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Wait, hold up. I need to say this is exactly where he said the fear thing, and he said, write this down. So I wrote it down right here. It says, don't give in to fear, be dependent, trust in your God. He is over all things. Yeah. Had to add that.
Hi, I'm Kianse. Hi, I'm Takay. Hi, I'm Victoria. Hi, I'm Demai. Hi, I'm Amy.
guys, welcome to Cabin 7. We have a strange fascination with the year 2016. So over here we have the mannequin challenge. And over here we have the whip. And over there we have some kids planking. Or maybe they're sleeping. We don't get a lot of rest here. Anyway, thanks, bye.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you.
I introduce to you Cabin 11's mascot, Lenny.
This is Lenny the llama. He's from Serbia, and he's a llama made out of llama. And I got him for $5 at Goodwill. He's amazing.
This is really sweet of me. I feel like it speaks to where the artist was at that point. And like, we could all learn from that lesson because it's not about a llama.
It's about Lenny and his story.
And his story is so important.
So important.
I'm King. And I'm George. And today, we're writing a tax on tea. Yeah, we are. The colonists are gonna love this. They're gonna eat it up, dude. I can't believe the King and George would do this to us. What are we gonna do about this? Wait, what's that, James? Oh!
I'm Poppy. My name's Tyrone. I'm Uniqua. I'm Tasha. My name's Carson. And we're your backyard friends, the backyard again.
Alright.
Welcome to Cabin 19.
Get him out, boys!
Hey, what's up, peeps? I'm Matt from Federico. Coming to Cabin 20. Have the best campus in the world. Let's go take a look. Hey. Hey, what is this? No, break this up, break this up. Break this up. Stop. Boys. Break yourself. Bye, guys. It's time for bed.
No.
No.
God.
Absolutely not.
No, thank you. Goodbye.
Yep, not Cabin 20.
See ya.
It's time for bed.
No, thank you. Goodbye.
Guys.
Goodbye now.
Guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Inside. It's time for bed. I'm still.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Is your hair spinning? Is your heart
thanks for letting them go. Awesome week, I'm sure. I know I spent one day, went up there. It was not like anything you could imagine. Very, very proud of our kids, especially when you can take 10 and not have any trouble. And that's a blessing there. But again, the counselors, they had nothing but good things to say about our kids. And that's really, and I will say this, they said that every one of them had a good foundation in Christ. They had a good foundation. They said obviously some had stronger than the others, but they were all very, he said we were fortunate. Let's just put it that way. I was like, oh. Danny, you were first time. Ava was first time. Yeah, Jana and Jameson. 'Cause we did last year, they came here. So it made a lot different when they were able to come here to go back up there, because it's just a whole nother atmosphere, because those kids related it to our church. And I think that was why, they were talking to me more than obviously than they ever did, but they were just, it was just pretty good. They came up to me and said, hey, y'all got some great kids. So, again, it was, it's worth it. I don't know how else to put it. It's worth it, and it's worth it to go, isn't it, Joanne? Because obviously what they do, they get up at 7 o'clock, and they have Bible study throughout the day. But if I'm not mistaken, y'all go to church 3 times, don't you? You do morning, lunch, and night. Huh? Y'all did the Bible study in the morning. Yeah. The small group study. Right, in the morning. So it's very intense. You see all the videos and stuff, and you think that all they do is play. No. And that's what they didn't show much, but you'll see kids sitting all over the place, 200 or 300 kids under trees and stuff, and it's good. So, Coy. All right. Anyway. But
thank you for helping with our youth.
No, I ain't helped. They just.
I know that you got it all on your shoulders right now, but thank you for doing.
Well, God's gonna place somebody. He's got a plan. It's easy for me. I know these kids, been around them, so that's not a job, but I know that God's got somebody in store, and I'm anxious to see who He's got. Me and Paul talked a long time, and he said it's kind of awkward. I said, you make this awkward because you're making it awkward. It's not awkward. You're making it awkward. And that's the same with our relationship with Christ. We make it awkward. It's not awkward. We make it. And soon as we figure out how to be more bold and overlook these things and move forward, we're going to be better off. I think a lot of times we bottle this stuff up and we want to be pity about this didn't work and that didn't. Look, get over it. God's got a plan. He knows what He's doing, and we're not here to judge Him or question Him. We just need to be patient, and as Paul would say, you need to clear your table and get ready. So again, thank y'all. Don't know what else to say. We do need a spare and a jack for the trailer.